I can explore the splendid environments, admire the cycle of clouds that elicit a sensation of wonderment, and sit idly by as cascading rivers run through glistening rocks at dawn. Those curated moments of serenity can put me at ease when I'm not knocking down bad guys with an assortment of weapons. But beyond that, it's the little things that come alive as I breathe in those scenes that keep me coming back to a world worth living in. Interactivity is the part of an open world title that separates it from quest marker collectathon to a living experience I want to share with others. And four titles, Crimson Desert, Grand Theft Auto 6, Fable, and The Blood of Dawnwalker, are promising levels of realism that surpass their previous iterations and build upon their current systems. Now, up front, The Blood of Dawnwalker doesn't look like it offers the level of world complexity I'm going to find in the other titles. I haven't heard anything about active wildlife or NPC actions and reactions. The developers at Rebel Wolves were part of the team that worked on The Witcher 3, and for all of its great stories and stunning environments, The Witcher 3 has never been compared to something like Red Dead Redemption 2 when it comes to the world and characters reacting to micro level actions by my character. But I'm not going to delve into a game for not being something it isn't advertised to be or wants to be. The Blood of Dawnwalker isn't being promised as a world that I can live in during the day, doing chores or walking the market and buying goods for my family. In fact, Cohen's family is the crux of the game's somewhat modest approach to an open world. I have a set number of actions or quests to complete in order to save my family. And surprisingly, it's that limitation that actually makes me feel like I'm in a living, breathing world. This isn't a title that expects me to put off the real world dramatics in favor of going fishing. The game is giving me a real personal dilemma, and it's up to me to complete the objective efficiently. Typically, I'd be against this form of timeline. A running clock, as you will, really amps up the intensity and it can make exploration feel rushed or impossible. I play these games to enjoy my time, and a doomsday device that literally counts down as I complete active quests doesn't inspire confidence I'll be able to enjoy my time in the world being built. But as I learn more about the mechanic, as I understand that only major quests activate the clock, it becomes clear to me that there's something liberating about having my hands tied. Look, I've been there before. I've seen this story play out in the past. The princess is in another castle, and if I don't hurry, an unknown power will be unleashed that will destroy our plane of existence. But, that can wait. I've got some crops to grow, and no one else is going to romance the NPC I just met. What I'm saying is, the plot in The Blood of Dawnwalker really means something, and there's probably nothing more resembling a living place than the construct of time pushing me toward a goal. With Fable, Playground Games is looking to the past to create an open world that improves upon its predecessors. Similar to The Blood of Dawnwalker, Fable isn't entirely concerned with how I plan to interact with the wildlife or environments outside of the villages I'll visit. Fable has always been about how my actions impact the people around me and how those people's behaviors change and impact my experience. It's micro level with incredible close up depth. This isn't an ecosystem of plants, it's an economy of feelings. I can travel the world and go out of my way to make someone miserable or happy, and the result isn't some arbitrary number that locks me out of progress or quest. It's actual dialogue and emotions that NPCs openly express without an ounce of remorse. It makes me feel like the characters I interact with have their own thoughts and memories. I may be the hero Albion needs, but everyone else still has to get through the day, and they'd likely prefer I go bugger off and handle that world saving duty. There's a level of authenticity in this type of mechanic that doesn't exist in other open world games. Most of the time, I'm tasked with a fetch quest that at best ends with an NPC handing me a new item that I can use. A lot of the time, I already have something better than the so called item. But with Fable, I know that when I complete quest or take over as landlord of a home, I am going to receive a real world response to my activity. And I'll see that in the story as well, with mockumentary style cinematics that will allow me a peek into the other side's response to my actions. I can be Michael Scott making decisions that influence the people around me and step behind the fourth wall to see Jim casually throw shade. I don't know how deep seated the visual deliverables will be, but I do know that Playground Games is promising that I will see how the weight of my quest log burdens the simple folk that really just want some peace and quiet. Next, I have GTA 6. There's probably not a bigger game in the world. The anticipation for this new version is at levels unseen in the gaming industry, and it's still some time away. I don't think I can grasp the fever pitch excitement will exceed once release is around the corner. And a lot of that is thanks to Rockstar's obsessive dedication to minute details in everyday life. As I covered in the video on Worlds to Get Lost in, the details from graffiti on the walls to the distinct differences in architecture across different parts of the map are the baseline examples of how serious Rockstar is when it comes to delivering next gen open world experiences. But they don't stop there. From the way sand kicks up when NPCs are walking on the beach to how lifelike hair flows in the wind passing by a moving car, I can't help but feel I'm watching rotoscoped real footage from a documentary about people in South Florida. The number of animations, the variety in body proportions, the laser focused minutia in background characters that 99% of the time I won't even notice. It's all incredible to say the least. And this is only from two trailers. I still don't know how or if they plan to include what looks like live stream footage from phones into our gameplay. Will I be able to watch someone's feed from my cell phone and drive over to their location in real time? Can I witness a gang fight in person and turn my head to watch it play out live on the news? Those thoughts make me consider how precisely Rockstar tracks the minute to minute actions I make with Jason and Lucia. Could I somehow stumble upon my own failures while doom scrolling on social media in the game, becoming a meme that NPCs use to mock as I walk into an ammunition? Obviously, at this point, I'm creating unjustified hype, building expectations that may never be fulfilled. But watch the footage. Can you blame me? I've seen what Rockstar has been able to deliver with Red Dead Redemption 2, and that was an Old West setting. Personally, I find Grand Theft Auto to be less of a living world than Red Dead. I'm not interested in the online aspect. This is purely from a single player perspective. Red Dead offers me the opportunity to play poker and blackjack. These are things that were present prior to GTA 5, and yet no GTA has really offered me a particular reason to keep coming back to the single player world once the credits have rolled. I do think that from what I've seen and what Rockstar has learned from Red Dead Redemption 2, Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to change the way I play their games moving forward. Finally, let's talk about Crimson Desert. It's days from release. Pearl Abyss has not been shy to share video and in-depth looks at gameplay and systems. At this point, the footage has been so overwhelming, so beyond what I've ever come to expect from a video game, let alone an open world video game, that I've come to assume there might actually be a lot more than I've seen. And that sounds insane. What more could this game deliver that it hasn't already told me about? And that's the thing. Every new video, every new glimpse at gameplay reveals something deeper than the systems I presume to know from decades of gaming. Much like Rockstar, Pearl Abyss is showcasing a level of design that, quite frankly, I could joke would delay Grand Theft Auto 6 for another year. Is it not possible that Not even Rockstar expected another studio to promise immersion that at the very least meets their own standards. And look, so much of this makes it really hard to believe that it can all be accomplished successfully. But I'm on board the hype train and I want to believe. I need to believe. For all the years that I've gamed, I have never found a title that truly wraps me in its clutches. I love games, but I don't love one specific game. The most hours I've put into a single title is probably Cyberpunk 2077. And as much as I enjoyed that game, it didn't really have a compelling reason to keep me playing after the credits. Crimson Desert is making a promise to me that everything I want in a game, a world to get lost in, a compelling narrative with strong characters, and a living, breathing world to live in, can continue to exist even after I've saved the world. I can grow crops, deliver products to different settlements, observe moving prices, and manipulate the market value of goods. I can play games with villagers, search far and wide for secrets in dark, hidden areas, and do so while equipping my torch because it actually works in the dark. I can swing my sword and watch the cut grass blow in the wind as small animals scamper away. Waves from large rivers crash against rocks as sunlight beams across an entirely visible landscape. I can take a load off and sit on a ledge just because I want to. Small actions like breaking fences or bumping into a pedestrian can evoke natural response from onlookers. I'm being given abilities and powers that contain little to no restrictions. It's a sandbox with tools to unearth so that I can go dig in the beach. If I wasn't excited for this, I would have to question if I'm excited for gaming at all. But these are all promises, and promises may not always come to fruition. As a gamer, I know it's safer to remain skeptical, to undersell what I'm reading in hopes that my discoveries provide unforeseen surprises. But as a gamer, I also want to live in the worlds that I'm partaking in. And if there's a game that is making every attempt to keep my light on, to keep me believing that gaming is the most immersive hobby I have, then I'm ready to hit the power button and start playing. For more videos like this one, remember to subscribe. You don't want to miss my upcoming videos and gameplay for Crimson Desert. Check back in next time where we cover the games that inspire you to play beyond one more save.